Welcome to Life on the Wabash, your home for the lighter, brighter, happier side of your community. We'll cover places to go, events to explore, recipes to try, and information that makes your life easier or more fun. Let's dive in. Good morning and welcome to Life on the Wabash. I'm Lindsay Varamis.
And I'm Audrey Doyle. This show is all about community and connection.
Discovery too. We highlight what's new in town while reintroducing you to key area traditions. This is also a teaching tool. Boilermakers like Audrey are helping to produce the show while getting hands-on TV training.
Today on the show, he's shaking up the local music scene. Meet the conductor of Lafayette's Symphony Orchestra.
A new option for gluten-free diners, what Rose Market is serving up in its new location.
We'll also get a taste of Purdue students' culinary talent, how her kitchen went viral.
On the job market, a career expert shares the top interview mistake and what to do instead.
It's a local icon, but how well do you know its history? A closer look at the Tippecanoe County Courthouse.
But first, we kick things off on Lafayette's Main Street to discover just how fun shopping local can be.
Life on the Wabash starts now.
As you get your home ready for Thanksgiving, you may be thinking ahead to holiday shopping. And while those online deals can be tempting, we want to give you a reason to start right here on Main Street. Small Business Saturday is just 2 weeks away. So we are checking in with Elise Daniel, our local guide, to discuss Small Business Saturday and all the fun in store. But first, we should talk about why we should shop local in the first place.
It really brings the community together. These business owners that are opening storefronts, they're putting their heart into the community. We're keeping our streets alive with local business owners who are bringing in products that you may not find other places. They're making it a little more sustainable for you to just go downtown or go to the south side or east side and shop what they have. And also they are giving back to the community.
Now we're in front of Flora Candle Company, so what can people expect here?
Oh my goodness, just delicious smells, first of all. This company really knows what they're doing when they're making candles. They're making them sustainable, different scents. They also have pour your own experiences, and they also have support local by bringing in other shops into their store, so they are selling other items as well. All right, our next stop is retail therapy, and I love this space because they have something for everyone on your list.
Ooh, I can't wait to see. This is adorable. Looking around, it seems like this is the spot if you don't know what to get that loved one.
Yes, there are so many items from jewelry, athleisure wear, cozy sweaters. There's even like little elixirs to make mocktails or cocktails, some Purdue themed things, fun accessories.
And Small Business Saturday, lots in store.
Yes. So when you spend at least $100, you'll receive a gift card to use towards future purchases. Along with that, there's going to be discounts, special offers, and even snacks.
Ooh, we love that.
Yes.
Let's go explore.
I always say when visiting Two Tulips that this is where Santa shops.
Oh, what a sweet little outfit.
I just love it here because there really is something for everyone on your list. One thing that I really love are all of the children items, so books and puzzles and toys, and you can have items personalized. Someone actually had piggy banks personalized here for us, which our children love, and then you can also have ornaments personalized. So this really is the spot to find something for everyone.
Okay, let's go look. So we're here at Essentially Aqua. Tell us about this spot.
So this is such a unique space in Lafayette. It's a bath boutique, but everything is made right here in house.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And
it's busy season.
Oh my goodness, yes it is for them, for sure. But they are bringing beautiful items, so soaps and lotions, face and skincare, just so many options, especially for the bath boutique lover. Here at the Beyond Gallery, you're going to find so many unique items, especially for the kids, teens, and tweens. There are 3D puzzles, crochet kits, paper plant kits, and so much more. Our final stop is the whimsical shop Scout. You will definitely find shiny, happy things in here.
Oh, I sure see things I like already.
When you walk into Scout, you're in for a treat. Whether you are just browsing or plan to buy, Small Business Saturday is the perfect time to explore what is available in your community.
A chance to feature local artwork. I'm here at the Artist Co-op Artist Own in downtown Lafayette, located at Main Street. I'm here today with Linda and Janet, and they're going to tell me a little bit about Artist Own. So, what was the inspiration?
We started in 1999. A group of artists got together thinking that we'd like to have a shop like this. And it was kind of where one artist knew another artist who might be interested, and so forth and so on. There were no stores where we could sell our work that were like this. Everyone was doing shows, and this was just an opportunity. So Patty Layden found a place down on 3rd Street. It's just across from the courthouse, and we rented it, and we stayed there for 2 years, and we started our business. We found tables, we found shelving. A store was going out of business at the mall, and we went over one Sunday and took as much as we could from it. And then we realized after 2 years we just didn't have enough space. So this space became available, and actually it was only half of the space that we have now. In the beginning we were 20 artists. That number is pretty close to what it is been over the 25 years we've been in business. Some artists come, some artists go. There's still 5 of us who are in the original group that started it. The community has been extremely receptive, and they have supported us all the way through the 25 years and during the pandemic when we had to close down.
We feel it's like a community service, really. Our customers tell us all the time how much they appreciate us. They like buying something that is handmade. They know the artist personally, and we take turns being shopkeepers. We have a process that's online. Anybody can look online under Artist's Own website. You can find out how to apply as a member or as a consignment artist. But it's a co-op. It's not an individual decision. We all make those decisions together.
Around the holidays is our busiest time. We have a huge number of people who come in during the Christmas season in particular. We have handmade ornaments that are something people come in and seek after. In fact, when I was working 2 weeks ago, someone said, "When are you going to put up your ornament stand?" And I said, well, the 4th of November, we thought that was early enough before Christmas to get them up. Just about everyone does Christmas ornaments, and they try to come up with something new every year, and it's kind of fun. And of course, there are lots of things you can buy. You can buy mugs, you can buy bowls, sculptures.
And we have jewelry and wearable art, socks that everybody loves that are hand-dyed, and hand-dyed scarves. So all of the artists are local. All the members are local. And our consignment artists are also Indiana artists.
You mentioned that you guys are best friends.
Well,
Sometimes it's too much time. No.
we don't serve on the same committee, but we all work together. Janet and I both work in clay, so we have a history of that passion.
There's a real sense of community in this group. I mean, if you didn't start out being good friends, you become good friends, I think. I mean, it's just, you get to know the people, you get to know their families. As Linda and I, of course, been doing this for a long time together, and we have daughters that are the same age who at one point in time were very, very good friends. I consider this part of my family. You know.
We stand by each other. It is a family.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a pleasure meeting you both. Check out Artist's Own right here on Main Street in downtown Lafayette.
It is a new era for the Lafayette Symphony Orchestra. Fresh off his first concert with the group, we're sitting down with Kellen Gray, the new artistic director and conductor. This has been a long search to get you here. 2 years, what does it mean?
Oh, well, it's incredibly exciting. You know, it's always an exciting time whenever a community wants to welcome you in and take a little bit of what you are as an artist and make it a part of them. And so I'm just really excited for this sort of merger and this relationship that we have here.
Now, so the community can get to know you a little bit better. Can you tell us about your background before you arrived here?
I was born in South Carolina, in a small town called Rock Hill, and had no idea I was going to ever be a musician, but this is sort of just something that cropped up. I was a violinist as a young person and had a career as a professional violinist before becoming a conductor. But I got my start at the Valdosta Symphony in Valdosta, Georgia as the assistant conductor there, and was lucky enough to move on to a fellowship at Chicago Sinfonietta to be a conducting fellow and eventually assistant conductor, then later assistant conductor of the Charleston Symphony in South Carolina, later the associate conductor of the Charleston Symphony, and in the second half of my tenure as associate conductor of the Charleston Symphony, I also became the assistant conductor of the Royal Scottish National Orchestra in Glasgow, Scotland, which I am now the associate artist of. And the first person to hold that title, which I'm really proud of, and I now hold that jointly with my role here as a conductor and artistic director.
So yes, it's an impressive resume, folks. So conductor, violinist,
Yes.
beekeeper too. You got to explain that one.
Oh, you heard about that.
I did.
Yes, so there was a little time where I wasn't in music and I was taking a little break. Like a lot of us, I got kind of burned out. I was really, really busy working as a violinist, hustling around and playing in a lot of the regional orchestras and then some full-time orchestras along with teaching. And I just needed to take a break for a while. And just out of crazy circumstances, I ended up working at Savannah Bee Company. And the owner of the company, Ted Dennard, sort of took me under his wing and really became my mentor, taught me beekeeping, taught me apiculture, and so many things that changed my life. One day when I was playing in an orchestra again, I kind of noticed that what the conductor does with the orchestra is kind of similar to what the beekeeper does with the bees. You have this really incredible, what's called a superorganism in front of you that everybody understands their role and their part, and it really governs itself. And it's really just your job as the beekeeper or the conductor to make their lives easier.
That's a good segue into something I wanted to ask you about. For those that are non-musicians, can you explain what a conductor actually does? What does the role look like?
So yeah, it's a bit of a mysterious role, isn't it? Because the conductor is the only person that doesn't make sound. So everything that you see up there, the relationship between what the movements that I may do and the sound you hear from the musician is some sort of either reminder, indication of what we've rehearsed. The magic, I say, of the real sort of art of conducting and the art of music making really happens in rehearsal, because that's where we have to do things right on the spur of the moment. What the musicians see is both the speed and the direction of my hands, and that is an indication to them that lines up with what's in their music that sort of indicates what they ought to be playing.
Let's talk about your musical influences. What are we going to see?
Oh gosh, I'm kind of like a dry sponge when it comes to music. I just soak up everything. From my childhood, I heard everything from Barry Manilow to Barry White and George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars and Niccolo Paganini and Beethoven and Whitney Houston, all in the same day and all at once. And so really that's what a lot of my musical influence is made of all these sort of things sort of woven together all at once.
It sounds like fun things are coming for the orchestra. Tell us about your goals.
Well, the first thing is I hope to really help use this orchestra to unite people. I think music is something that plays a role in everyone's life. It has this sort of special place for each of us, whether it comforts you, whether it helps you during a hard time, whether it just uplifts your spirit. We all use music in a different way. I always like to compare it to a movie example. When you're sitting in the movie theater, there may be a really intense scene, and you notice when the scene is over and the suspenseful music is faded that you're sort of tense in your seat and your shoulders are rising, and it's when the music actually relaxes and it's when we relax. It has that effect on all of us. And so I really hope to bring a lot of music that people know and a lot of music that people don't know they love yet here, that sort of shows some commonality, not just on the stage, but in life.
Well, we are looking forward to hearing that. Thank you for letting us get to know you a little bit better. The next concert for the Lafayette Symphony Orchestra is coming up December 14th, Holiday Pops. And now we're going to hear a little bit from the orchestra so you can get a taste of what they're all about.
Behind me is the Tippecanoe County Courthouse, a local gym located in downtown Lafayette. Today, we're going to learn some fun facts about this icon of Lafayette's skyline. This courthouse sits on the public square bordered by 3rd, 4th, Main, and Columbia Streets. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places since 1972, this courthouse is the third to serve the county and was built between 1881 and 1884 at a cost of approximately $500,000. The courthouse stands as an icon of Lafayette, with its classic architecture combining Baroque, Neoclassic, Beaux Arts, and other European styles. It features 100 columns, 9 statues, and a grand dome adorned by a 14-foot Statue of Liberty. The courthouse also includes a beautiful clock tower. The interior, interestingly enough, is painted pink, with lots of art, including paintings, both framed and murals, and statues, including busts of important Lafayette figures such as William Digby and John Purdue. Over 125 years old, it continues to house 8 active courts, and it's a key part of Tippecanoe County's rich heritage.
To all my celiac friends and anyone looking for a healthy alternative, today is your segment. Whether you have a dietary restriction or you simply want to explore gluten-free treats, we're excited to introduce you to Rose Market and Gluten-Free Bakery right here on campus. Let's check it out.
Hi everyone, we're here at Rose Market with Cassidy, the creative force behind all the delicious gluten-free treats here. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And what inspired you to start Rose Market with gluten-free items?
So the inspiration behind the market itself actually started with my parents. They opened a Main Street location 3 years ago, and the driving force behind that was my grandmother. Her name was Dolores Rose. She loved food, she loved to cook for people, and she really just loved her community. So that was kind of the inspiration behind opening the market itself. The gluten-free treats I've been baking at home for many years. My son had celiac when he was little, so he couldn't tolerate any gluten. So I've been baking donuts and treats and things like that at home as a mom. And then when my parents opened the market, I just thought it was a need in the community that needed filled. So I came on board 2 years ago.
Is there any popular items you recommend for the first-time visitors?
Yeah, we can go take a look at some of our most popular items. So the donuts are kind of what put us on the map. So that's what everything started with, and we've added several bakery items since then. The Pop-Tarts are very popular here at Purdue. We do a rotating flavors of those. Muffins, brownies. We have a variety of other desserts available as well.
What kind of things do you sell to?
Yeah, so at our Main Street location, we're actually a market as well. It is a little slice of heaven for if you are gluten-free. There are a lot of gluten-free groceries and allergy-friendly groceries that you can find in the store. But we have a lot of things that aren't gluten-free. But we're also partnered with Pizza Uncommon, so you can come in and get frozen gluten-free pizzas as well. We're the only place in Lafayette that you can find those, so that's kind of fun too. Yeah. So yeah, it's just a great little market for really anybody. If you like to cook or you're kind of a foodie, there's a lot of unusual things in there too.
Also, I know there will be some people that are interested in connecting you on social media, and can you tell us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Our handle on Instagram is at 816 Rose Market.
For those who may not know, celiac disease is an autoimmune disease that affects 1 in 100 people in the world. Many of them doesn't even know they have celiac disease. That is why gluten-free options like Rose Market are really important.
Purdue student by day, thriving food entrepreneur by night. Today I'm joined by Kalani Armstrong. She turned her passion for cooking into a booming business that's taking the food scene by storm. Can you tell us a bit about how you got started with your business?
Yeah, so I've been cooking my whole life. I started my business when I was 14. I was a freshman in high school cooking out of my mom's house. It started with me just posting my food innocently on my Snapchat story or my Instagram story, and it would get a lot of attention. I had people telling me that I should start my own cooking page on Instagram because at the time I was just posting on my personal accounts and they were just private. So I made my first Instagram account in 2018. It was called Kalani's Kitchen. That's where I get the name from. And I just started to post my recipes and cooking videos, and it quickly took off. But this was back when 1,000 followers actually meant something. But yeah, I had people asking all the time if I could sell my food. So after getting a bunch of requests, I begged my parents, and they finally let me start Kalani's Kitchen up. And that was 7 years ago, and I haven't looked back since.
Oh my goodness, and the journey's just going to go up from there, right?
Yes.
So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced while starting Kalani's Kitchen?
Well, yeah, since I was so young, I didn't really have any business experience or any marketing experience. Something I faced was getting my name out there. there was no sign outside that said Kalani's Kitchen because I was cooking from home. So to get people to try my food, it was either through Instagram or word of mouth. And like I said, I was 14. I didn't really know what I was doing. But once people started to try my food, it really just spoke for itself. They told their friends told their friends,
The
and
word of mouth effect.
yes, it quickly spread through Indianapolis, and it's just been growing ever since.
Yeah, like the lines I've seen on Instagram and everything. Like,
So long.
look crazy. I'm like, oh my goodness, her and her team must be tired.
So
man.
tired.
And it's not even a Keith Lee effect.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
What type of cuisine do you specialize in? Like, what
I
makes it
usually
unique?
sell soul food / comfort food. It's a mix on both. What makes it different is if anybody's had my food, they can tell you that you can't really find it anywhere else. I can't tell you my secret ingredients, but I do add a little dash of Kalani's Kitchen effect to every single dish that I use that elevates it to the next.
Okay, shoot, Kalani's Kitchen effect.
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us like one of your signature dishes? Like, what do you prefer to make? Like, what's your favorite thing?
It actually has changed over the years. When I first started, when I was 14, my special dish was chicken sandwiches. Before KFC and Chick-fil-A and Popeyes had their chicken sandwich wars, I had the best chicken sandwich. That's what everybody knew me for. But as I've expanded, my most popular menu dish is my Cajun chicken Alfredo.
Okay.
I always sell out every time I sell it. I have my little Kalani's Kitchen effect that I do to that meal that sets it apart from the rest.
We see that you're closing in on 70K. Like, how do you feel? Like,
Oh my
what's
God,
next for
I'm
you?
so grateful and so excited. When I first started my Instagram page, I really couldn't get past 1,600 followers. And I had a splurge in my followers recently over the summer. So seeing that number grow from 1,600 to almost 70,000 has been honestly life-changing. It gives me more customers, more revenue, and all things like that.
Yeah, honestly, seeing the change and like just the expansion of your page is like crazy. I'm like, oh, I know her. Like, come on, you know. So that's really good. Like, is there any advice you can give to like any students or entrepreneurs that are starting a business while in school, or just starting business in general?
Yeah, well, starting a business while you're in school is definitely tough work. You're gonna have to wake up every day with ambition and grit because you're the only person that's in charge of your business, especially if it's just you don't have any other partners. So you have to be really motivated. There's gonna be like days where you don't wanna do anything. You don't wanna get out of bed. You wanna call off, but you can't call off. You're the boss, you know? So it's gonna take a lot of hard work and a lot of ambition, but you have to push yourself every single day and never give up because no business thrives on its inconsistency. Being consistent is truly the key to any good business.
Yeah, you gotta stand on the business, right?
Yes.
Right. All right, it's great to have you here, Kalani. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us today. If anyone's hungry for delicious food, be sure to follow Kalani's Kitchen on Instagram for mouth-watering updates and behind-the-scenes looks at her journey.
Are you looking to make a job change or perhaps entering the job market for the first time? Today, we're getting some tips about putting your best foot forward in the interview process. Joining us now is Veronica Rahim from the Center for Career Opportunities at Purdue University. Now, Veronica, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone wants to make a good impression in their first interview. What are some tips you have for leaving a lasting impression?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Maggie, the first place that I always have candidates think about is no one knows your story better than you. So just remember that you're a very important person, a VIP. So if you can start with yourself and remember your values, your interests, your personality, and your skills, hence your VIPs, that's a great place to start so that you can make sure you can communicate that outwardly to an employer in an interview. I would also say be prepared with thinking about different questions that you might be asked. Typically, tell me about yourself is a very popular question, but also behavioral questions are very popular. Questions that ask you to give an example of a time when you've done something, worked on a project, overcome a challenge. Employers who use behavioral questioning believe that those questions showcase a student's past experience, and so they think that is indicative of future performance. Also, making sure that they research, use the resources available to them to be able to fine-tune the things that they want to hone in on when they're interacting with the company is very, very important as well. So I would definitely start from an internal place and externally through research.
So you mentioned how important research is. So what kind of research specifically should candidates do for an interview?
Yes, there's so many things that candidates can do. One, if you are tied to an institution like a university or college, Every college has a career center. So utilizing information that they have on their website, maybe they have a publication, some type of handbook that has information about preparing for an interview, that's really, really important. Also, if you're a community member, accessing any citywide workforce development resources that might be available to them as well.
Well, thank you for some tips on the do's. Let's look into the don'ts.
Sure.
What common mistakes do you see candidates making during interviews?
Sure. So the first thing I see is that going back to research, some students don't. They start with themselves, they start with the position, but they don't research the company deeply. And when we do have employers in my profession complain to us, that's the number one thing they complain about. So definitely make sure that you're using resources, company websites, LinkedIn. Follow those companies that you're interested in that you want to get an interview with. Find different ways to have conversations with people who work at those particular companies.
How important is body language during an interview, and what are candidates specifically looking for?
Sure. Body language is really important. So let's think of the rule of 12. When you first walk into the room and when you're meeting the person who's interviewing with you, make sure you're standing at the time of their arrival so that you can meet them face to face and shake their hands from a standing position. Also, think about your top 12 inches from your shoulders up. Are your shoulders back? I saw you just push your shoulders back just to stand a little bit more tall. That enhances your confidence. And also think about those top 12 words you're going to say out of your mouth. So thinking of that elevator pitch and making sure you're communicating your strengths right off the bat.
You recommended leaning on the STAR method. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yes, so the STAR method is really important formula when it comes to answering behavioral related questions. And because you're expected to talk about a specific example of a skill set or a project you worked on, then you want to use S, set up the situation at hand that you want to discuss. So talking about your role, talking about the environment that you were in. Then you want to talk about the task at hand that you had to address. Was there a problem that needed to be solved? Was there a challenge that needed to be overcome? Was there a specific project that you needed to focus on? Then you need to go to A, the action. This is where you're going to spend the majority of your time in conversation talking about the actions that you followed through with to overcome that problem, to work on that project with the team, or whatever the case may be. And then R is the result that you rendered. Now, some of the projects that you're working on or some of the things that you're talking about using the STAR method might still be ongoing. So you might not have a result, and that's fine. What I would recommend is that you talk about the lessons that you're learning along the way and maybe the result that you're hoping to render at the end of the project.
So finally, in your experience, how has the interview process changed from, back in the day to now?
Wow. Well, for one, you have so much access to information, the internet, with networking with others, having access to people, not just in person, but through technology. So I would definitely say that technology has made things a little bit easier to make sure that they have a really strong interview when it comes down to that.
Veronica, thank you so much for all of these amazing tips. Of course, we're just scratching the surface. You can find more interviewing resources on the CCO website. There's also a listing for career fairs, workshops, mock interviews, and a portal to make an individual appointment.
If you have a story you'd like to see in our next episode of Life on the Wabash, send us an email, connect with us on Instagram, or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Your voice will help drive the show, and we're eager to hear from you. Here's when you can find us next. Until then, we encourage you to explore more and have a happy Saturday.
Brought to you in partnership with Purdue University Brian Lamb School of Communication and NBC 16 Lafayette, a Star City TV station.